At the bottom of our planet sits a continent larger than the United States and Mexico combined. A place so cold, so hostile, and so isolated that most humans will never set foot there. No government owns it, military activity is restricted, and entire regions are off limits to tourists. Satellites can't even give us clear answers. And beneath miles of ice lie mountains, lakes, ancient fossils, and, according to some, secrets powerful enough to change everything we know about our world. In this week's episode, we're asking a simple question. What secrets lie beneath the sheet of ice that we call Antarctica? And yeah, I'm going here.
If your power goes out, remain.
Welcome to the graveyard.
Everyone in the theater went, oh!
No, I don't smoke cigs.
You can't just sit down and watch it.
Take personal security precautions to avoid becoming a victim of an attack.
This is the Supernaturals podcast on the SPN network.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Supernaturals. We're your hosts, Cal and Jake, and we welcome you to another, hopefully, intriguing episode today, to say the least.
It will be, for sure. Yeah, we want you to get your thinking caps on for this one because it is a doozy.
I'm excited. Cal was giving context clues, and immediately before he started even speaking the intro, I was like, oh, yeah, I know what we're talking about. I know what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
No, I don't know all the context to it, right? But I know the whole general theme.
Yes, Jake is going to discover this stuff with the rest of you. And
As always, yeah.
But it is, it'll be fun. I'm curious to know your thoughts about all this because I had to dive deep in that rabbit hole.
Yeah, we need a drink for this one.
Yeah, to figure this stuff out.
Yeah, I'm excited. I have a couple theories about this myself. Just on a couple like things I've read and seen, but I don't know the actual whole story of what we're actually diving into.
Yeah,
so it'll be interesting if it aligns with, my thoughts and theories about this.
Yes. I was thinking about making this a two-parter because there are some things that we don't cover. But I kind of just figured that the other things were honestly just a little too far-fetched, in my opinion. Stuff we're talking about today is a little it's a little extreme. There's some that are a little more believable. But the ones that were I'm a believer in a lot of stuff, and even I didn't buy it. So we're going to leave a little bit of stuff out. If you guys want us to cover it, then we can do another part later, but we won't do a second part right after this. It's just going to be probably a long episode.
Yeah, I mean, if you do truly want a second part, let us know, and we will try and fit it into season 4.
Yeah. Yeah, perhaps. Anyway.
Along with Creepypastas 4.
Every season has one.
Every season.
Yeah, so we hope you got your thermal clothing on and a hot cup of cocoa next to you, because we're about to get cold up here. Actually, since this is releasing in the middle of August, just sit next to an AC, and maybe you'll get that same feeling. Sit next to your AC machine, and you're good. Yeah, and as we said in the opening for this episode, we're going to be discussing the mysteries that shroud the continent that sits south of everyone in the world. Isn't that pretty cool? Antarctica is just south of everybody. Nobody lives there. So everybody has one thing in common. Everything is certain in the world. What is it? Taxes, death, and Antarctica is south of everybody. Anyway, so with that, let's dive in. Because again, this is probably going to be pretty long. So, Chapter 1. Before we dive into those theories of secret bases, hidden civilizations, and conspiracies buried beneath the ice, we need to actually understand what Antarctica actually is. Proudly sitting at the southernmost point of our planet, Antarctica is actually the 5th largest continent on Earth. It covers about 5.4 million square miles. If you don't know much about it, well, it's a land of extremes. It holds about 90% of the entire world's ice and around 70% of its fresh water. One of the wildest things to fathom is that in some places, the ice sheet is more than 2 miles thick. Temperatures can plunge well below negative 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And during winter, most of the continent is shrouded in complete darkness for months at a time. To tie that all together, Antarctica is basically one of the most inhospitable places on the planet.
Dude, darkness for like days on days straight would just be crazy.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, when people visit Alaska, and Alaska's like daylight for a lot of their time. And then they
have
the
whole summer, don't they?
They have a lot of light, like what, 2 hours of darkness, maybe?
If even.
Yeah.
I don't even think the sun goes down for like a couple months or something.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Living in a place where the sun rises and sets, right? It's just, I've never been in a place where I needed blackout curtains because the sun doesn't go down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you need some sort of fake artificial light because the sun never comes up.
Yeah.
Like you're always carrying a flashlight.
Dude.
It's gotta be strange.
As much as I love rain and like, I got to be honest, I'm not a fan of the sun. Like I don't like summer. I don't like stuff.
You like light though.
I do
right?
like light.
Yeah.
I love when it's like they're trying to change daylight savings right now. And I'm like low key I'm low key against it because in the winter, I actually like when it gets dark early because I like seeing the Christmas lights and stuff at like 5 o'clock. And
yeah,
I don't know. It just feels more cozy. I don't know. So, but regardless of that, I still don't think I'd want to be in darkness.
It's kind of depressing when you never see the sun, though, right? Because there's just times in the winter I go to work in darkness.
Yeah.
I'm never go outside because
Yeah.
I work in an office, right? And we can't even see out the windows.
Yeah.
Barely.
Yeah.
And then I come home and it's also dark. And I'm like, well, I can't even get vitamin D up in this bitch.
I know. It's true. Yeah. So Antarctica is pretty wild, though. So anyway, despite its brutal conditions, Antarctica is far from empty. Dozens of research stations operated by countries from around the world are scattered across the frozen landscape. Those stations study everything from climate change and astronomy to ancient ice cores that help us get a better understanding of Earth's past. What's probably the most unusual thing is that Antarctica doesn't belong to any one nation. In 1959, the Antarctic Treaty System was established. This made it so that the continent was described as a place of peaceful scientific research. The treaty even prohibited military activity and resource exploitation, meaning nobody can go down there and get any resources, anything like that. Looking at the treaty, it's actually one of humanity's greatest examples of international cooperation.
I've heard about the treaty. I feel like there was like an episode of Rick and Morty or something like that talks about Antarctica or something crazy.
Do they?
I can't remember what it was, but there's some sort of show that talks about Antarctica and a wall at Antarctica and like you can't go beyond it.
Oh yeah.
And stuff like that. And
we'll talk about the wall.
Yeah. The wall is crazy.
We'll talk about the wall. Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of the basis of what surrounds my thoughts is there's, like I said, there's some link to a show that made that kind of like humorous to where like you can't go in there.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. So for many conspiracy theorists, all of those facts that we just discussed raise questions rather than provide answers.
And we love a good conspiracy theory out here.
Why is the entire continent governed differently than the rest of the world? Why are some areas so difficult for the public to access? And why does a place dedicated to scientific inspiration, I guess, there's so many, it creates so many theories of and stories of hidden technology, lost civilizations, and government secrets. The reality is that Antarctica is actually one of the least explored regions on Earth. Beneath miles of ice, there are mountain ranges, lakes, landscapes humans never have seen. It's honestly just kind of wild to think about. It's just like a completely different planet almost.
It is. But at the same time, you got to kind of realize and think about, like, I mean, if there's no sun for, days on week's end.
Yeah.
And it can get to what, minus 100 degrees?
Yeah.
You're going to die. There's no way you're going to explore that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like not possible without some sort of technology to traverse you across the land.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, it just feels like, it's so funny how it's a place
like going to
on
the
our
depths
planet.
of the ocean, right? You're never going to go there.
Yeah. It's weird, right? It's crazy to think about. It's like, it's still our planet, and yet it's just, there's so much that we haven't discovered. But yeah, anyway, I would say the combination of isolation, mystery, and limited access, thanks to just how terrible it is.
Yeah.
It's turned Antarctica into, honestly, like the perfect breeding ground for conspiracy theories. And when people encounter a place that still feels unknown, they often begin to wonder what might be hiding there.
Yep, definitely. Because people's brains definitely wander.
Absolutely. We've seen that a number of times on this show.
When you don't have facts, you take a guess.
Yeah.
Whether it's a good educated guess or just some controversial guess, it doesn't matter. Someone's going to explain a thought, and people are either going to back it or argue against it in some other manner.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest. I was totally did the same kind of thing. A couple weeks ago, we did the terrifying things found in the woods.
Yeah.
And that one story of Dennis, forgot his last name, the kid who vanished at the campsite.
Yes.
And there was no sign of him, but it was so hard to envision that he was just like
snatched
there 1 second and then not, like everything didn't line up. And so I had thought about, like, you go to every logical theory, and when those don't line up, you start to think about the cosmic theories and things that maybe, happen. And it's like, definitely. So I'm definitely, I do that too. I think when you don't have answers and there's not enough evidence to prove a logical thing, you do start to, your brain tries to think of things outside of the box.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, chapter 2. So if there's one event that occurred that may have sparked any Antarctica conspiracies, it's a military operation known as Operation Highjump. In 1946, a little over a year after the end of World War II, the United States launched one of its largest expeditions ever sent to Antarctica. This expedition was led by Naval Officer Richard E. Byrd. The mission included thousands of personnel, multiple ships, aircraft carriers, submarines, and dozens of aircrafts. The operation's goal was pretty straightforward: train military personnel in polar conditions, test equipment in extreme cold, and continue scientific research of the continent. And over the course of several months, the crew photographed a ton of unmapped terrain and gathered new data about one of the most foreign places on Earth. For most historians, that is where the story ends. But for conspiracy theorists, just like all of us, Operation Highjump is where the story begins. The sheer size of the expedition has led some to question whether there was another objective hidden from the public. One of the more popular theories claims that the United States was searching for a secret Nazi base that was supposedly established in Antarctica during World War II. According to this theory, German scientists had developed an advanced aircraft, or even a flying saucer technology, and retreated to a hidden fortress beneath the ice as the war came to an end. If that doesn't sound crazy enough, some versions of the theory go even deeper, saying that Byrd's crew encountered these advanced crafts and were driven out after a brief but devastating conflict. Insane.
Mm-hmm.
A hidden battle of World War II occurring in the frozen landscape of Antarctica.
I know.
Isn't that the craziest thing?
It's a wild theory. It's out there. It's out there.
It's weird, dude.
I mean,
you got Battle of the Bulge, you got D-Day, and then you got the Battle of Antarctica. Crazy.
Yeah, that one's not in the history books. And it's kind of interesting. I'm surprised, they were just building aircrafts and stuff. I was expecting super soldier already coming into play.
We'll get there.
Just because, like, Overlord.
Yeah, that was. We'll talk about it in a second,
Yeah.
but yeah, Nazis, they were very keen on trying to create the super soldier. That's why Nazi zombies has become or was like a big deal,
Right. Yeah.
because it just kind of made sense. You're trying to create like the perfect indestructible creature.
You're trying to create Steve
Like,
Rogers, dude.
pretty much. And then it's like, yeah, what if you killed Steve Rogers and he just came back as a zombie?
That'd be a little frightening for sure.
Hell yeah, I'd run away. Yeah, so it is interesting. I mean, they were always working on some weird ass technology.
Yeah.
So,
Isn't it? But it's so crazy to think that, like, you're coming up with this technology in the World War II era, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on right now then with technology? Because it's got to be so much farther than flying saucer type things.
Some of the stuff that I've heard, obviously it's not confirmed, but like I've heard some pretty wild shit from people that have some kind of connections.
Yeah.
And it's nuts. It's nuts. So I'm not going to say anything, but let's just, let me put this out there. Star Wars doesn't seem too far off. No, I'm not talking lightsabers. That'd be freaking sick. Anyway, so this theory, the Nazi theory, gained the most traction because Operation Highjump ended earlier than originally planned, which is a fact that conspiracy researchers say is pure evidence that something went wrong, as in the battle. They also constantly talk about comments Byrd made in newspaper interviews after the expedition. Sorry. These comments in question were that he warned people future wars could involve aircrafts capable of traveling from pole to pole at incredible speeds. While most historians believe those remarks as concerns about the incoming Cold War aviation technology, conspiracy theorists see them as hints that Byrd had witnessed something extraordinary in Antarctica. To this day, no credible evidence has ever come out proving the existence of a Nazi base, advanced flying saucers, or a secret battle beneath the ice. Yet the story refuses to die. And in many ways, Operation Highjump became the foundation to which a number of Antarctica theories were built. Whether it was simply a massive military training exercise or something more mysterious depends on who you ask. But for many believers, like me, this operation became the moment Antarctica stopped being just a frozen continent and became one of the world's greatest unsolved mysteries. Thoughts?
Yeah, I find that quite fascinating. It's like, okay, so if the Germans were able to get to this land potentially and claim and have the battle for it, right?
Yeah.
Did they win? Do they still hold it? Because there's a treaty supposed to be.
I know.
That says that you're not supposed to collect resources. But if they're just, collecting things, doing crazy science, like,
yeah,
that's a power that other people would want.
I'll be honest with you.
And you would think that there would be another, like, it's called an expedition battle, whatever, for the claim.
Yeah.
If they were holding it.
True.
You would think.
Or
at least think.
Or they were a part of the treaty. Right? What if they were a part of it? It was like, no, they're like, we'll mind our business if nobody else comes and like messes with us.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I mean?
Or it's like, here's the treaty, but we're all still going to get resources anyway.
But that's the thing. They're not though. There's just minor bases there's like only like 12 or something bases, like outposts in Antarctica
that you know of.
True. You're not wrong. I guess. Right? Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, Antarctica is a crazy place. And the fact that we can't even get like satellites to really like map out the whole thing is pretty wild.
Yeah, civilian satellites probably.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Right.
Yeah, true. I know. That's the big thing is like that's all we can do as civilians is like think of things like this because we don't have all the answers. Right. So it's like,
and humans crave answers.
Exactly. Yeah. I will say diving down like the Nazi rabbit hole is pretty freaking wild. From the super soldiers that you talked about to these hidden bases in Antarctica, to the fact that they think, or they have actual, like, almost proof, like inconceivable proof that Hitler didn't kill himself and went down to South America.
Dude, it's funny that you say that, because I keep seeing online that all of a sudden this guy who's like in his 120 years old is coming out saying that he was Hitler.
Really?
Yeah. This one dude kind of could resemble him, but I don't know. It's very odd.
Well, they think that they found his remains, like his skull or something, in Argentina, and they were able to like figure it out. There was a whole documentary about it, and I watched that, and I was like, dude, what? Because I was in the full belief of like, no, he didn't leave to Argentina or wherever it was he went, but no, apparently there's some pretty wild proof, dude. And I'm like, really? So that son of a bitch lived? That's insane. If he did, I don't know, but that'd be wild.
Yeah, I don't know. That whole topic is just another can of barrel of monkeys, right? Because it's like you could go so deep into what if, what could have been, what potentially is or is not, and it's just.
How about the whole New World Order BS that was? You know, our airport had like a big thing about it with like the murals and stuff that we could do a DIA episode. Anyway,
that just fits the whole like conspiracy theory like arc.
It does, yeah. But I mean, we live here, so
yeah, I know.
Anyway,
go to DIA a lot.
Segment 3. So for this, chapter 3. Bad. So for this chapter, because I put segment instead of chapter. For this chapter, we aren't done talking about Admiral Byrd yet. In fact, this theory states that Byrd discovered an entrance to a hidden world that is hiding beneath our planet's surface. This theory claims that during one of the polar flights, Byrd actually ventured beyond the mapped regions of Antarctica and discovered something impossible. Instead of a vast ice and snow landscape, Byrd actually found a massive green landscape that was filled with forests, rivers, and even had signs that an advanced civilization inhabited the area. According to this theory, Byrd's aircraft was escorted by strange flying machines that were unlike anything known during that time period. Apparently, he was even brought face to face with these highly intelligent beings that live inside the Earth itself. The reason why this theory, despite it sounding so incredibly impossible, exists as one of the most famous theories is because of a document that circulated the public years after his death. This became known as Byrd's secret diary. In this diary, Byrd supposedly described flying through an opening of ice and coming out in a hidden world, which even has its own name, Agartha. Pretty wild. Also,
kind of sick.
I'll be honest with you. So this is the theory that actually got me to want to do this episode. There was a video on YouTube, can't remember by who, but it was like an hour-long thing, and it was about this theory itself and the diary and all that. And I watched it, and that I actually remember the day you were sitting on the couch watching a show. I was eating like food while I was watching the video, and I go, we should do an episode about Antarctica. And you were like, yeah, that'd be fun. But it was while I was listening to this thing.
I mean, could you imagine you're just a giant block of ice and you just go through this like tiny crevice that just opens up into this beautiful green lush world?
Yeah, and you're getting escorted by some like weird like Star Wars looking like TIE fighters and shit.
Yeah, no, that'd be crazy. That theory is a little like far-fetched for me, but it still could be sick.
So that's why I'm saying like,
but who knows?
We talk about these ones. There's some that are even more far-fetched that I was like, we're just not going to talk about. We'll talk about these ones because these are.
Yeah.
According to the diary, he met a peaceful civilization that gave him a massive warning. The warning was about the dangers of nuclear weapons and the destructive path that they noticed humanity taking. To believers of the diary, it actually represents a truth that has been suppressed by governments around the world. For what reason? I don't know. Theories on why this type of thing would be kept hidden range from governments trying to continue their nuclear research without people getting upset, to governments secretly working with the society to make nuclear tech safe. But to skeptics of this theory, the document known as Byrd's Secret Diary has never been verified by historians, and there is no evidence that Byrd himself ever said he discovered a hollow Earth or world within a world. So, yes, while there may not be a highly advanced species living in a green utopia in Antarctica, the theory of a hollow Earth actually predates Byrd by centuries.
That it does.
In fact, the very idea that another world operates beneath our own 2 feet has been an idea that's been thrown around in myths, religion, and even scientists themselves.
All about the lizard people.
Before we continue with this, Jake, do you have thoughts so far?
So all the UFOs we could potentially be seeing is this utopia.
Maybe.
What if it's not even from another world? It's just from our world within the world. That
would
is a
be
thought that is pretty crazy.
Wild.
Who knows? I don't know. I don't know anything, but it is fun to think about because it's just like I couldn't even imagine just seeing that.
I know.
It's like, you know, those videos of people like walking like Alaska or Oregon or whatever. Some of the videos I send you where like the landscape is just beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
It's like you see that, but it's behind a wall of ice.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be wild.
It would be wild.
Absolutely wild. So examples of these are that some writers and historians, as well as a few explorers, genuinely believed that large openings to the secret world existed near the North and South poles. And while geology has tried and failed to prove this hollow Earth theory multiple times, the thought of a hidden world is definitely captivating, especially since we are looking towards the stars when secrets could still be held under our very own soil, as Jake just said.
Well, I mean, think about it like this, right? You go back to, I don't know, the early, probably like 15 to 19th century type of thing.
Yeah.
It is possible that there could be worlds under worlds because we've built cities on cities.
True. Yeah.
And you can go visit them and like Edinburgh, there's literally a whole city under Edinburgh.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Who's to say there's not even deeper stuff and people live down there or have lived down there or maybe don't live down there.
Pretty sure
I mean,
France like sank too, or like
Yes.
parts of France
Yes.
like sank in the ground and they just built over.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I think it's maybe it was
Or
you
Paris.
know that guy that does like the crazy gambling online that got banned from every casino possible.
Uh-huh.
You've seen that guy, right? He's got a lot of
think so.
tattoos and well, he said he's visited, I can't remember if it was like in Las Vegas where there's literally a towns under Vegas that people live in.
Uh-huh. There is. Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. So
Yeah.
to think that there could be, I mean, it's a little far to say that there's full civilizations and like cities underground like that.
Like
but
super deep in
Yeah,
the earth.
yeah.
And then like somehow they still have daylight and forests and stuff.
right.
Right. How does that happen?
And
you know?
how do you not like get so hot because you're near the Earth's core and
Yeah,
stuff, right?
yeah.
But who knows? But all that aside, there are people that potentially live underground and are currently living underground. And
They're fine.
I don't know if they're fine.
They might look a little pale, but
Yeah, I don't know if they're fine. They might be a little lacking nutrients, but
vampires.
who knows? It's interesting. It's very interesting.
So yes, whether the diary is a hoax or an actual piece of secret history will be the debate between conspiracy theorists and scientists for a very long time. But no matter what the truth is, this simple theory made Admiral Byrd go from a highly respected explorer to a cornerstone of one of the most fascinating theories ever to exist. The next theory is a deeper discussion on something that we talked about earlier. Now, if you're a history buff, you know that back during World War II, the Nazis were constantly trying to find an edge over everybody that they were up against. This meant that they had a shit ton of scientists and labs working on things like secret soldiers, high-powered weapons, and stuff straight out of a horror movie. This topic has been in pop culture too, with the biggest thing being Nazi zombies. Call of Duty did it, the film Overlord did it, and even foreign films like Dead Snow did it. But the reason we're talking about this is because paired up with things like Nazi zombies is the Nazi Antarctica theory. this theory is arguably the most famous of theories when it comes to talking about the frozen continent. And the reason is exactly what I just mentioned. There's an actual wave of truth in this one. So in 1938, Germany set out to explore Antarctica to survey the territory and possibly add a whaling station. And the whaling station is exactly what it sounds like. It's a place to either research or hunt whales. Anyway, the place they discovered became known as New Swabia, which was named after one of their ships. But during this mission, German aircrafts took photos of large sections of landscape and even dropped markers which claimed the area for Germany. But no official border or claim of land was ever held, and the expedition turned out to be short-lived. But here's the thing. Why did Germany, especially during the rise of their power, want to have anything to do with Antarctica? After the Third Reich collapsed and the war ended, the theory really took off. It was rumored that high-ranking Nazi officers had escaped and fled to various remote corners of the world. I mean, like we said earlier, we're aware of the Hitler South America theory, right? Anyway, yeah, some theorize that the frozen wastelands of Antarctica was the perfect hiding place for some of these individuals. Stories swirled that a secret underground base was carved into the ice, that there were hidden entrances that led to warm caverns that hid beneath the continent. There were rumors of German U-boats transporting people, weapons, and advanced tech to a secret base hidden at the bottom of the world. That's not all either. Over time, the theory evolved. It stated that Nazi scientists developed a new kind of aircraft called the Die Glocke, which was created using experimental technologies. The Die Glocke was essentially a flying disc. Yep, believe it or not, there are quite a few people out there that believe that UFOs didn't come from outer space, but rather are creations of a secret Nazi society based in Antarctica. Obviously, there is no factual proof of any of this, but despite the lack of proof, this theory is one of the most compelling because it actually combines real historical events with the unanswered questions that the end of the war created. And while there is no proof that the Nazis escaped and created a new society down there, if even a small part of the legend were true, it would completely rewrite what we know about the aftermath of World War II.
100%. And it would completely rewrite potential life outside of this world right now.
Yeah.
Like, you would obviously still believe there's potential to be life out there, but if UFOs are coming from the Earth itself,
I know.
right? That's crazy. Now, I find it odd though that why would the Nazis like run away to Antarctica out of all places? Seems so absurd to me.
Because they were an enemy everywhere they went, right?
Yeah, I guess to go to the place where everyone can't do anything about it.
Because there isn't anyone there,
Yeah.
you know?
I mean, okay, I guess it kind of makes sense in that aspect, but it's like,
You got to have technology to live there, though.
right, you can't just like go there and survive minus 100 every day.
But maybe that's what they were doing when they did the whaling stations, and that was just
I mean, maybe.
they were trying to see like, okay, we need like a plan just in case.
But like, how much effort do you think it goes into like providing power to all these places to like have heat, have some lights? Like,
I don't know.
It seems like such a big task. That
Maybe
seems
they're-
almost impossible.
Well, here's the deal.
Doesn't it? I don't know. That's just me.
It does. But you know what else seemed impossible? Flying in planes.
True.
You know what else seemed
It
impossible?
still seems impossible.
Nuclear technology.
When I watch an airplane take off, I'm like, what the fuck?
I'll be honest with you. When I'm in a plane, I go, you know, I'm a human being. I'm not actually supposed to be up here.
30,000 feet above the ground.
Yeah, they start freaking out. Anyway, chapter 5. So back in 2016, actually, 10 years ago, some images of a distinct pyramid-shaped mountain in Antarctica spread like a wildfire across the internet. This is one of the more recent mysteries that has quickly become one of the most famous. And that's because to a lot of people, the pyramid looked way too perfect to be anything natural. It very closely resembled the pyramids of Egypt. This image obviously led to more theories about an ancient civilization that was hiding beneath the ice. But here's why it's different from any of the secret stuff that we've already talked about. It's because this theory states that there was a civilization that lived on the continent before it froze over. Another interesting part of this theory is that many believe it further proves alien life had helped our species evolve. Let me explain. Have you ever wondered how all the ancient civilizations shared aspects in their culture? Multiple gods, similar architecture, etc.? Well, pyramids are one of those. From Egypt to South America and now Antarctica. How did these cultures all think a pyramid was a good structure idea? Well, there are those that believe aliens traveled around the world, helped us build pyramids, so the discovery of a pyramid structure might not only prove the icy continent was once habitable, but it just might be a place where alien life had attempted to help our species further itself.
Interesting.
I always thought that too. I'm of the belief that
But like, why wouldn't they come
pyramids-
back and like help evolve things now in the areas we are in?
Maybe because they already did.
They're just like, oh, done with Earth.
Or maybe nobody's saying
409.
anything. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Here's my personal beliefs. I do believe aliens existed and helped build the pyramids. That's a far-fetched belief from me. I just don't buy that shit. Have you like seen how big those freaking, and they always say like, oh, it was a pulley system. I don't buy it. Like, I just don't.
It does seem pretty insane. That
It's
that's
wild.
like, okay, if that was the thing, let's build them again.
Yeah.
Right? You don't think someone's like, I want to test this out.
Yeah.
How long would this take?
Yeah.
Well, we do know a guy that built Bishop's Castle. We don't know him per se, but
but Bishop's
I mean,
Castle is not a pyramid
it's
built
not.
of stone
It's
bricks
built of
that are like the
stone.
size of this house.
it's true.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
To me, it's I
But
almost
like, what's
find
the
it,
purpose to build them again? There's none.
there is none.
Yeah.
But I also do find it interesting that a pyramid is like a very common theme in the world. Multiple countries or cultures had pyramids, which is just so interesting to me. It's like, why? Why did somebody think like, oh, let's do like a triangle?
Yeah, but okay, think about it like this. I wake up in Cairo.
Yeah.
Right? I'm born there, whatever.
Okay.
You have the idea to build a pyramid. Let's say it's not coming from alien technology,
Uh-huh.
right? I then decide to build it. It gets done, whatever. I pick up, move my life to now some other civilization.
Yeah.
I've moved across the world.
Yeah.
You bring that same idea and be like, hey, pyramids are pretty good structures.
So you think the idea was passed on from culture to culture to culture? You think somebody was traveling the world like that?
I don't know. It's a possibility. I'm just saying, I'm not
I don't
saying
know.
it's true. I'm just saying like
People
you could.
People used to think that if you sailed away from where you were too long, you would just fall off.
True.
They were like, oh, it's the edge of the world. You would just not be there anymore. Like nobody knew the world was round and shit. You know, they thought there was an end at one point, big waterfall, and it was over.
Yeah. I'm not saying that it's like true. I'm just saying it's a possibility.
Yeah, no, I get it. I think that'd be cool. I'd like to meet that guy who did that because that'd be freaking impressive. But I don't know. I also like the act of doing it though. You could say that, but having 3 pyramids in a row
Yeah.
in Egypt,
Mm-hmm.
each one of them has perfectly shaped freaking bricks, like giant bricks, all the same size that are all stacked in the perfect amount to fucking get to a pyramid. And then you have the same shit for the next one. And then you have the same shit for the next
I'm
one.
not saying I don't believe your theory. I think it's
no,
pretty
I
incredible. It's
get it.
freaking crazy. I'm just saying it was a possibility.
I'm just saying, to me, out of all the crazy things that I might believe, that's
Are
the
they
one that
the
I believe.
exact same shape or are they just like slightly the same?
Those 3 there are the exact same shape. They're 4-sided pyramids. I think 2 of them are like the same height. The other one is like smaller than the others. I think there's a 4th too they just discovered.
Really?
Or not too long ago, but it's a lot smaller. But they think that the pyramids actually have like they went down. There's a theory out there
I
that
know
say
that
the pyramids
theory.
are actually this massive towers or whatever.
Yeah, they say that like you can, based off of what kind of technology they've tested or done anything, they can
Yeah.
see like
It's like a chute or something, right?
it's what's the word? It's like a beam, but some sort of like heavy structure goes way down and
Yeah.
they can like see that through vibrations or something crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm
So
like,
it's like-
whoa, that's wild.
They think like, you know how there's
it's like
a
the
pyramid on top
heads,
of
right? It's like the heads.
Easter Island heads?
Yeah. Don't they go down?
I don't know. I never saw that one.
There's a whole thing where if you dig down the Easter heads, they're like full bodies.
Oh, yeah. I've seen
Right?
that. Yeah.
Is that true?
I think maybe.
I don't know. But it's
I've
like
seen what you're talking
similar
about.
type of like theory.
Yeah.
Right?
I saw the one that I saw about the pyramids. It was, you know how like the Washington Monument like goes up in a pyramid, but like the rest of it, it's like imagine that, but the pyramids are they go like it's like just
But,
the
like,
tip.
You can go into the pyramids, can't you?
Yeah,
So you would think that you would be able to go like somewhere down them.
I don't know.
Like-
I mean, they've been here for thousands of years. Who
Yeah.
knows if the stuff was collapsed? I mean, that's why we never found it.
It's like
We had to wait for this technology to find out there was actually more to it.
is it the Library of Alexandria that sunk?
I don't know.
Something
I
like
don't know.
that. I don't know.
Anyway,
But,
that's
like, they are built in sand. So
Yeah, true.
Who
my
knows?
my personal theory though is I think that the pyramids were built by aliens. So that's just me.
Maybe.
Anyway, what do you think to our listeners? Geologists, however, give a less mysterious explanation to the pyramid in Antarctica. According to scientists, the pyramid is most likely a natural mountain peak known as a nunatak, which occurs when a mountain rises through an ice sheet. Apparently, similar pyramids can be found all over the world, including the Alps and right here in the Rocky Mountains. Over millions of years, erosion from wind, ice, and freezing and thawing cycles can actually carve mountain peaks into geometric shapes, just like a pyramid, which is so weird. So while scientists believe that there is nothing special to write home about, still the debate over the pyramid adds an interesting aspect of human nature. Our brains are wired to recognize patterns, especially familiar ones, and when we see a triangular mountain standing alone in the frozen wilderness, it's easy to associate it with pyramids that we already know. So we have to decide whether we're actually uncovering evidence of something hidden, or are we just simply seeing a familiar shape in an unfamiliar place. I personally want to know more about the potential pyramid and send a research team down there. But then again, if we're hiding some secret society, they're probably just going to leave it alone.
Yeah, probably. It's interesting now that it's popping up other places too. I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude. Have you seen that picture?
But like, no. Of which one?
the pyramid in Antarctica.
No.
I'll find it. Keep talking.
Where in the Rocky Mountains is it?
I don't know. I didn't look. I just saw it was
It's kinda
part of my
crazy.
research. It said that there were pyramids like this because I was trying to look into this pyramid and it was like, oh yeah, the Alps and this also have one.
Interesting.
Pyramid in Antarctica.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could be just unfamiliarity in places you've just not seen that before.
Look at this bullshit.
It's interesting though that it's like a mountain rises,
Look at this
but like
bullshit.
a perfect pyramid.
That's a legit picture too.
Let me get a closer view of that.
Look, there it is. You can look at that. You can look at that stuff. I recommend everybody else also look it up. Pyramid in Antarctica. All these images pop up with the
I mean, it's pretty like
measurements and all that.
perfectly shaped. It's like hard to argue that it's just a mountain because a mountain would, probably be a lot more like natural looking.
jagged.
Yeah.
And yeah.
This is like crazy.
To me, I think that sometimes scientists, they always say stuff like, oh, it's just the natural way of things. The wind and the ice,
It's coming up
shape
naturally in
stuff.
a perfect four-sided.
It's like they create geometrical shapes. I'm like, okay, when you're out,
When you look at
hiking.
a mountain,
when you see a rock, have you ever seen a perfect circle rock? Not a single time have I ever seen a perfect like circle. I've seen
unless
ovals.
it's man-made, right? That's
Exactly.
the only time you see it.
I've never seen I've seen ovals,
Yeah.
but even they're a little off.
Yeah.
A perfect geometrical like sphere as a rock. I've never seen that. It always has something to do. This pyramid is way too freaking. It's freaking nuts, dude. It's 2 kilometers wide. It literally is 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers. Like you can't
Make this shit up.
You can't make this shit up.
It is wild, yeah.
Look at it.
I know.
Nah. there's some bullshit going down in Antarctica, folks. Oh my God. All right. Chapter 6. While we've spent the entire episode talking about these potential secrets and mysteries, it's time we wrap up our episode today with the biggest piece of all. What is actually under the ice? Using radar, seismic imaging, and satellite technology, researchers have actually discovered quite a lot about our icy continent to the south. They have discovered things from huge mountain ranges, deep valleys, and massive canyons, and a shit ton of lakes that are all buried deep within the ice. It's interesting because if you really think about it, Antarctica is really just a continent hiding another continent beneath it. It's kind of a bummer too, because these type of landscapes have been hidden from humanity longer than we've ever even existed. Just so crazy. So if you want to talk about proven facts about hidden mysteries in Antarctica, we have to talk about Lake Vostok. It's a giant freshwater lake that has been buried beneath about 2 miles of pure ice. Some scientists believe that the lake has been under that intense ice cover for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years. Because of this isolation, scientists have wondered if there is any sort of life down there in that lake. If there is, it would be vastly different from anything that we've ever seen before. That's because no other place on Earth has that intense of an environment. But where there's water, there's life. So if life did happen to be residing inside of Lake Vostok, it could change our understanding of where life is actually capable of existing. And not just on Earth either, but on other worlds, such as icy moons of Jupiter and Saturn.
2 miles of ice is crazy.
Yeah, but it's like, think about it right now. There's a lake that's just like, imagine putting yourself in that position. You're in a freshwater lake just swimming, and above you is just pitch black dome of like ice. That's freaky to think about.
Yeah, there wouldn't be no light, right? There's no way light comes through 2 miles of ice. There's no light.
Pitch black. So that's why like this is kind of freakier in my opinion than the actual theories, because this is proven. So the theory becomes, is there life there? And if there is, nothing on this planet resembles the type of landscape that is, that freshwater lake. So the stuff that's in there that is alive, like that better stay in there. It better not get out.
Yeah. There was this one famous explorer. I read, I think, his journal or something. I can't even remember his name, but I thought he explored Antarctica. What was his name?
Was it Sir Archibald Witwicky?
No.
Did he discover Megatron?
No. What was his name? Let me do a quick Google search. Continue. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was him.
Who, Archibald?
No, Ernest Shackleton.
All right.
He wanted to trek across Antarctica in the 1900s.
Another crazy discovery is the Gamburtsev mountain range, which is an enormous mountain system buried beneath the icy sheet. What's insane is that these mountains can be compared to the size of the European Alps. But what's even more crazy is that no human being alive or has ever been alive has ever seen them directly. That's because they are completely concealed beneath thousands of feet of ice. While checking out this mountain range, scientists have also mapped out river systems, lake beds, and landscapes that could have seen sunlight tens of millions of years ago. It seems like every new discovery shows that Antarctica is a lot more complex than the flat, frozen wilderness that most people imagine. As we tie up this week's episode with a bow, we should look at the most surprising reality about the continent. Scientists still don't really understand what sits beneath every part of Antarctica. Like, there are massive parts of the continent that are too difficult to study. Not only that, but new discoveries are being made constantly. And that's one of the reasons why conspiracy theories continue to thrive. When people hear that mountains no one has ever seen, lakes sealed away for millions of years, and entire ecosystems that have been hidden beneath the ice, I think it's pretty easy for the imagination to take over. The fact of the matter is that Antarctica is one of the last genuinely unexplored places on Earth. While researchers haven't discovered the evidence of lost civilizations or secret alien bases, they have revealed something just as fascinating. A hidden world that is slowly giving up its secrets right here on Earth. So, what do you think? Is there any mystery that you found yourself believing? Is there any theory that you think is complete bullshit? Let us know down below.
Exactly.
What do you think,
For me
Jake?
specifically, the more and more I think about it, the more and more I'm like, I want to believe that there's this sick ass utopia of flying vehicles and crazy technology of other unhumanly entities out there.
I think
that'd be so cool.
Cool as hell. I just don't want the Nazis to be the ones that
Yeah, I would agree.
built them.
Yeah, that would not be great. That one seems more realistic, right? But I hope the utopia is the one that is. Yeah, the wall stuff is crazy. But I do think that, with this whole area not explored as much as we would like, it is really, really intriguing to think about a world that could be.
Yeah.
And if there is this lake 2.5 miles under this ice sheet.
Yeah.
That could still be not frozen.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It
and
is,
that's like, how? How is that possible?
That's something I guess I didn't really think about. I don't know.
Is it frozen or is it not?
It's not. It's a freshwater lake. It's literally still rolling.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But it must be so, how like it's the ocean, like the Antarctica isn't frozen all the way down. Right.
Well,
so
you're getting closer to the core of the earth. It's starting to get a little hotter. It's probably not like, but isn't it crazy? Like, yeah, I mean, I don't know.
When you think about
when the sun doesn't hit it, there's going to be ice.
When you think about this stuff, man, your brain does just kind of wonder and wander. It's so wild.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I thought this episode was so fun to do. I'm like, dude, you think about this stuff and then you start thinking about other things that kind of like we're talking about pyramids.
Well, what my mind goes to is even beyond this, right? You're thinking about, okay, the earth sits on its axis a perfect way and it spins around the sun in such a perfect manner that this Antarctica place, north and south of the earth, are both frozen wastelands.
Yeah.
And we can't get there. Or it's hard to get there as like a normal person, scientific researcher, whatever.
Yeah.
Now, is there more beyond it? Who's to say? Someone might know, but
I'm sure
it's
people
fascinating.
know.
I think what makes life so wonderful sometimes is the ability to have the freedom to think whatever the fuck I want and just wander on an endless like item of just craziness. I don't know. It just blows my mind. I'm just like, what? Fresh water under 2 miles? What? Dude,
that's like a real thing. Like the other stuff's all conspiracies, but like that's a genuine thing. That's why I said like,
who's to say that there's not life down there? Who's to say
I know
that someone isn't just avataring that shit down there?
Thing is frozen in the ice down there. I think what's so interesting too, because we talked about it a couple episodes ago. I think it was when I was going on my cosmic rant in the forest video. But I was talking about how I don't think that our physics work like beyond us. I think that there's so much that we just don't understand about the universe, and I think that there are parts of the universe where our physics are complete bullshit.
Well, our physics are our physics, but
they're our physics. They're what we know. I think if you go to a different reality, like, or a different galaxy or some shit, I think it just throws those physics out the window.
Maybe.
You don't know. That's the thing. It's like, you just don't know. Like, we don't know. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, sure, you can say, oh, physics are physics. But then like, what happens if you go into a black hole? Are those physics? No, you're getting like elongated and stretched and all this shit. Those aren't physics. That's whack shit. So my point is,
who's to say?
You got freaking this freshwater lake, and scientists are even wondering, could there be life down there? That would be crazy. Yeah. I think we talked about it. I was saying, like, what if there's life on Venus? It's just something that was created with that type of atmosphere. So, like, it's just a freaking monster. You have no idea what it is, but like, what if life can be created in other ways that we just don't know? You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're always looking to oxygen, water,
because it's what we
nitrogen, hydrogen.
We did.
Right.
That's how we became life. But I get like, hey, we've gone to Mars and Mars doesn't have life, or like we think things are inhabitable, but like
they're inhabitable to humans.
Yeah. What if they're not? Like, what if like,
although they did find that one planet that
else?
looks like almost identical to Earth.
Yeah, I saw they just came out with a thing and they said that there's a new planet that they just discovered that might actually have Earth-like stuff on it. So like forests and be crazy, be wild.
Still getting there is a trek though, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
Who knows? All right, guys.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
One last thing. I saw another thing that they were just talking about. You know how when the sun dies, it's going to expand before it like then shrinks and then explodes and does its whole supernova thing or whatever it's going to do. I saw a thing and they said scientists want to delay that. So they want to try to find a way to push the Earth further out as the sun expands so we can still have more time.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So instead, because if the sun,
but then it's going to get colder, is it not?
No, because if the sun expands even just a little bit right
it'll
now,
still be as hot.
Well, if the sun expands just a little bit right now, we're fucked. Yeah. Like we're gonna burn. It's like we are literally in the freaking sweet spot. If we move any closer,
how
any
that
further,
works?
Insane. So if we move any closer, any further away, we either get like an ice age that kills us all, or we all burn. And it's like just has to sit in this sweet spot. So what they're trying to do is if the sun expands just a little bit when it dies, we're gonna burn. So they want to move it a little bit as the sun is expanding. Isn't that crazy to think about? I don't know how they'll do it.
That won't be in my lifetime. So.
No, because I think they're talking about it right now of how they would do it, but I think it's still another like 500 million years or something before that's even like a threat.
You're like the last couple people on Earth when the supernova happens. What a way to die.
I'll be honest with you, it's a pretty sick way to die.
You know
like,
it's
you just
coming,
sit
but
there
you're
and
just
you're
like
looking up and you're like,
explosion.
I would just sit there like this. I'd have a beer in my hand and I'd be like, all right, see you later.
Bring it on.
Bring it on, baby.
Yeah, who knows? Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed our very heavy theory episode about Antarctica and what could be under the surface of the ice.
I have a feeling that this is an episode where people might send us novels. You know what I mean? Whether it's now when you're listening to it or if you're listening to this episode 2 years in the future, who knows? But you know what else will be there in 2 years? Our new After Dark stories. Be sure to go check those out. Turn the bell notification on for new podcast episodes every Wednesday, After Dark stories every Friday, and we will see you all around the graveyard.
Enjoy and have a blessed day.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of The Supernaturals. Be sure to like and subscribe on your favorite podcast platforms. See you around the graveyard.